Good morning, everybody. Dr. Joseph here. And we're taking a look at making a connection back to your cited text evidence. This is a really critical part of this essay and of a TDA. Let's talk about why that is and how you do this. So up here, we went through, right? We had our topic sentence. This is your focus for the paragraph. Everything within this paragraph comes back to this. So no matter what you're talking about, it should all be in support of this topic sentence. Mine was the first reason why participation awards should be awarded is because that's my claim, plus my first reason. They encourage children to try harder. And we had a video there to take you through that. Then we had to find evidence, right? So our topic sentence, as we come down here, said, again, it is my contention that participation awards are needed because they encourage children to try harder. And your goal was then to get into websites and to directly cite text for the most vital information, to paraphrase evidence for that less vital but still important evidence, to include tags or sentence starters, and to put that all together into something that looks like this. Okay. This gold sentence we've really been in our transition. So let's kind of take that out here. Okay. There it is. So these awards encourage children to try harder. I found an article at the Huffington Post. Here's the link, where Dr. Gail Gross, an expert and educator on development, education, and behavior, gives us her expert opinion and testimony about why these awards encourage children to try harder. You'll notice in purple, I found a piece of evidence that's important, but not important enough to really directly cite. Here, I directly cited some evidence. I took it right from Gail Gross. This is really vital. It proves that these awards encourage children to try harder. And then I have a sentence where I did some paraphrasing and some direct quoting. Evidence done. Okay. So the next phase is this. We got to be able to connect to that evidence. And that comes in three parts. Okay. The first part is your interpretation of the evidence you just went over, right? What's your interpretation? What Gail Gross just said up here, right? In one sentence, in your words, what does this mean? What does this show? That's the first part of a two-step transition. A transition connects things together, right? It's going to connect our cited text evidence to our connection outside the text. So I had what the above evidence is getting at is that children who work hard and give effort will overcome the children who just rely on their natural talent. That's the first part. Part two is what's coming up. What is coming up is our connection outside of the text. So here's that little sentence. The same impact can also be seen in the E.B. White novel Charlotte's Web and its main character, Wilbur. So I'm going to connect what Gail Gross said to Wilbur from Charlotte's Web. Okay. Now, before I make that connection, these are the most important ways that you can connect. And hopefully you've heard about these in the past. The first is making a connection that goes from text to text. Okay, so connecting what Gail Gross said, connecting that text to another text. Okay, so that's the most effective way. So if you can think of a character from a book, a character from a movie, a character from a magazine, a video game, what have you, if you can make a connection from Gail Gross and her evidence, like I did, to a novel, of course that's the most effective because this is language arts. So connecting back to literature, that's pretty cool. Are middle of the road effective? Very strong, but not quite as strong as text to text is text to world. Can you connect what Gail Gross is trying to say to a historical event, to a person from history, to the world around you, to a news story you recently saw? Okay. And then the least effective is making a connection back to yourself, right? The people grading you on a TDA, not me, the people grading you don't know you, right? So these first two, they might have knowledge of Wilbur from Charlotte's Web. They might have knowledge of an event going on around the world. But when you connect to yourself, it's the most difficult one for your grader to really get into. Okay. Here's what it looks like. Okay. Oh, and step three, which we'll talk about here at the end in maroon, which is explain explicitly, say directly how Gale Gross or your evidence in the cited text connects directly to your outside the text connection. Let's take a look. Here's my topic sentence. Everything comes back to that these awards, for me, encourage children to try harder. All this evidence connects back to there. Here's my two-step transition. Here's what happened in the cited text. That's what Gail Gross was trying to say. Here's what I'm about to talk about with Wilbur. Let's read my outside connection. In E.B. White's Charlotte's Web, Wilbur is initially insecure and doubts his worth, but the encouragement he receives, especially from Charlotte, motivates him to continue trying to live up to her faith in him. Even though Wilbur doesn't win the grand prize at the county fair, the simple recognition of his effort and uniqueness keeps him proud and determined for any and all difficult tasks that may come his way. I think that this connection connects back to what Gail Gross was saying, which is by rewarding kids, or in this case, Wilbur, you push them to continue to try harder. Okay. Gail Gross said it happens with kids. E.B. White shows it also happened with Wilbur. Okay. I think if I look back, I spelled Charlotte wrong. Not good. Char. I'll have to fix that. Now, after I've made this connection back to here, the last thing I have to do is assume that my reader still doesn't get it, which is insane to me. But let's say they don't get it. I'm going to tell them directly how this works, why they connect. The story of Wilbur connects directly back to the evidence presented by Dr. Gail Gross, where the participation itself, not just being the winner, whether it's kids or Wilbur, is what pushes children and Wilbur to keep moving forward no matter what challenges lie ahead. Okay. They encourage children to try harder, to push forward. Boom. Pretty simple, friends. All you got to add on then is, of course, your concluding sentence, which is just your topic sentence. Body paragraph done. All right, guys, give it a shot. Use my stuff here to help you out.